Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. And today we have the game plan. This is what is it? A 2007 film. It's about 14 years old. This is a very young Dwayne the Rock Johnson. He's fresh off his wrestling career for the most part. He's apparently this is one of his many Disney films. He did Race to Witch Mountain and some other stuff, and soon Jungle Cruise coming up. So yeah, but this is still he looks not as big as he does now, even though it's like 14 years later. Yeah, so it's an hour and 51 minutes. It's a 2007 film, and yeah, this is him taking his shot at family-friendly comedy. I mean, I'd seen him around this time or somewhere before this, I think, doing Get Shorty. He played against type because he's always the big muscular professional wrestler. He played a gay actor in that one, which that's when I first noticed that okay, he's not just some sort of big dumb muscle dude. He's willing to for comedy and to also establish himself as an actor, do something that would in many people's eyes unfortunately would destroy his brand by being something completely opposite of who he portrays himself 99% of the time. So yeah, but that's acting, so you can do that. But yeah, this is a he plays an egotistical football quarterback for the Boston Rebels. There's no mention of the NFL. Uh, there is he's just going to his team is going to the playoffs to play in the championship. So you can't say Super Bowl. Super Bowl is how very touchy they are about using Super Bowl in any advertising. You always have to call it the big game. If you're like advertising, hey, we have wings half off for the big game. You never hear them say Super Bowl because it would cost them millions of dollars to do so. In this case, Disney did not pony up the NFL money to be able to say Super Bowl or NFL at all. So they made up some teams, and he's on the Boston Rebels, equivalent of the not Washington, the Patriots, New England Patriots. So, but color schemes are all different. So that is all. Who cares? What this is about is a man who is living a very singular, powerful, rich dude life with supermodel girlfriends, a immaculate pad, all sorts of friends who love his money, but he is still very, very alone. He has pictures of himself all over the place. He's super egotistical about his skills, who he is as a person, and it's kind of I think it's a mask to cover up, the emptiness he feels. And that emptiness gets filled real quick when suddenly a little girl shows up on his front doorstep and says, "I'm your daughter." So little Peyton, not named after any football player, but they explain in the thing, but Peyton shows up and she's adorable. She is says that her mom is suddenly taken off to Africa for a trip to give people fresh water, and she cannot be contacted by phone or internet or anything else conveniently. But hey, I'm here to see my dad. My mom just dropped me off. Her story has a few holes in it, and I'm not going to give those away at all. But still, she's there, and suddenly, Dwayne the Rock Johnson playing Joe King Man, Joe Kingman, Joe Kingman is, by the way, he's a huge, because of his name, the King Man. He has a big obsession with Elvis, and Elvis music is throughout this more than a Lilo and Stitch movie. So there's a lot of Elvis in this. In fact, the end credits have everybody at different shooting locations throughout the shoot, singing, lip syncing, and also singing "Hunk of Burnin' Love." So you see a bunch of clips thrown together as the credits roll up of everybody just getting weird with that music. So just singing along, having a good time. Maybe it kept the morale up, I don't know. But either way, Elvis is throughout this. Joe gets picked on by his teammates who see him now as being strapped down and distracted by a little girl who he really seems to not want to have in his life, but as time goes on, he realizes just how important she is. You kind of know how this whole story is going to go. It's going to end up with them together. It's not. It's no big surprise. I'm not going to ruin. It's not ruining anything on that part. If you haven't seen the film, if you have seen the film, obviously, no surprises there. Uh, if you haven't, it's odds are this wasn't a priority for you to see when it came out 14 years ago. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm not really ruining it for anything, for anything for anyone. But Mr. Very Young Rock here, who looks very smooth and surprisingly smaller than he actually is, uh, he learns to love this girl, and then certain twists come into play that change their relationship in ways that he is not expecting, and I wasn't expecting necessarily. I knew there was something fishy going on, but yeah, you'll have to watch the movie to find out. It's actually well earned because they do their best. The storytellers do their best to actually hide it from you, and they do a really good job of it. That she's telling the whole truth, but you kind of know that she isn't, and it's a way that works out. As I'm actually surprised that it actually paid off well, and yeah. One of the things that they have in this, by the way, he's other co-stars in this are Kira Sedgwick as his agent, his manager. Madison Pettis plays Peyton. She's like 8 or something in this. Looking at her picture on IMDb, she is not 8 anymore. Ooh. And Rosalind Morris Chestnut's in it as one of the teammates who he has a family, so he's kind of sympathetic to what Joe's going through. Hayes MacArthur plays just this doofus football player. You've seen him in a bunch of other stuff. I can't remember what, but if you saw him, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's guy." He's a guy who keeps calling people stupid, and Madison or Peyton keeps calling him on it, saying it's a mean word. But Rosalind Sanchez is wow. Rosalind Sanchez. She plays a ballet teacher that Peyton goes to and takes on. And through this, of course, somehow they get Joe, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, involved in their ballet performance, showing that he's willing to do just about anything for this girl, even humiliate himself in front of his team. But he doesn't see it as humiliation, as he is involved in this little girl's life. So it's kind of great. And of course, you get a little bit of sexual tension between him and the ballet teacher. They never really officially pay it off. It's not the point of the story. The relationship here is not, hey, is Dwayne gonna hook up with hot ballet teacher? it's the story between him and his daughter and how they come together and connect and disconnect and connect, and how they stick together through it all. So yeah, I was surprised that I liked it as much as I did. It's got a number of funny moments. It's got the prerequisite like dog comedy. Like there's a dog and there's a bulldog in it, and he does tricks, and it makes you love the movie more because there's a cute dog in it. It's a cute little girl in it. There's Mr. Muscly, Dwayne Johnson, and he's doing comedy. So this is his formative years. He is considered like the biggest special effect in any movie these days. That's why he's one of the biggest movie stars in the world. And usually you don't put a whole lot of... There was a time when you didn't really put a whole lot of faith in a professional wrestler as an actor. They just, they step on the screen and they're usually shooting a gun or punching a dude and then doing body slams as part of their fight scenes, because it's usually they get relegated to action movies. And especially when you get big muscly guys like him. So yeah, you usually don't get to break out of that role, but here The Rock gets to, and Dwayne, we call him Dwayne now. So that's good for him. He's, like I said, he's the biggest special effect in any movie he appears in these days. Here, it's it's still new. I mean, they're taking a risk on this new guy. Yes, he has a following of professional wrestler fans, but see, seriously, they're not necessarily all going to go see a Disney film with him and a little girl. It's usually not kind of a crossover audience, but this is broadening his audience by putting him in front of tons of Disney fans. Because, by the way, the Disney Channel makes a number of appearances on the TV from time to time because she loves to watch the Disney Channel and he likes to watch sports, and sometimes she overtakes his decisions with the remote. So yeah, it's a fun little movie. It's not the greatest movie in the world or anything, but it's good fun. It's sweet, and I kind of find it funny that Disney went out of their way. They went out of their way. One of the things I find most interesting about this, they went out of their way to make it not look like that Dwayne Johnson just like hooked up with a groupie, got her pregnant, and then the girl just shows up on his door. It is they make it very clear that he was married to this woman, the girl's mother, for a year, and then they broke up, and he never found out that she had a kid until now, until she shows up 8 years later. So it's just it's funny. There's no adultery, or there's no talk of sex, or what did they do? It's not a one night stand thing. There's nothing lascivious about it beyond going, we were young, we made a mistake, and we got divorced before I found out that she was pregnant. So that's the sanitized version of this. If this had been any other movie or for any other studio, it would have been, hey, yeah, I got a groupie knocked up, or some girl that I don't remember the name of suddenly dropping a kid off in front of me, and that's what it would have been. And it would have made little kids go, what's going on? Why does she have no mommy and daddy together? And you know what? They were married once. He knew who she was. So yeah, way to sanitize the whole thing here. This is not Ballers, let's say that. Okay, anyway, let's let's pick tomorrow's episode.
332.
332. Did I plug this in? Come on, you're taking forever to load up here. Come on. Well, I can talk about that. Normally this thing resets itself whenever I plug it in, and for some reason I'm having a hard time having the document load. Sorry. 332 is the number, right? It's only been forever. 332. 332, not 322. 332. Okay. Right? Making sure. 332. All right, we got a Marvel animated film. Not an MCU film. But we got a movie right here. Marvel's Iron Man and Captain America Heroes United. We've had a Heroes United film before. So, yeah. This is... We have a Hulk and Iron Man one also that's on the list here. But we are here that's the very last one in the list of Marvel's things that I have alphabetically. Marvel's Iron Man and Captain America Heroes United on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.